Hi there, friends. Welcome to a special Friday night Hero Academy Live. Said I'd be doing some of the game recaps on a different night, so that we can keep Saturdays to just live games for maximum awesome. So let's pick up where we left off. I believe 2 weeks ago with the Shaolin finals. Some of the games have progressed a lot farther. And we'll get to the conclusion of this game tonight. So, last time that we were talking about this game, this was the double dragon turn. If I go back a few moves, where I decided to basically go all in and use the two dragons on his line. And I'm going to gamble and try to save my +3 wind blade by healing up instead of stopping the shadow. And I calculated out all the percent chances for each scenario based on whether he has a Taoist or a combo potion. And so now the moment of truth is here. Did I end up getting lucky, or did I just cost myself the game by being insanely greedy? And there you have it. I lucked out. He did not have a Taoist, and so he was not able to save any of those units. His only shot at recourse was to take out my Taoist on the attack tile. This is basically the only move he had available to him. And even though I have a huge lead now, there's still a lot that I need to watch out for. He's still got a dragon left, and I'm down a Taoist. And so if he's able to take out another Taoist of mine, then it's possible that that he could turn this into a game where he can whittle me away if he's somehow able to take down all my healers. So I really need to be wary of that possibility. But I'm gonna have a shadow out, and he's not, and it's just gonna be a huge advantage for me if I can get myself established going forward. So really, this is a forced move here on my part. I just need to kill the Windblade and get myself up in a better position. I also would love to take that bamboo off of the gem tile, because one of the possibilities is when you're really far behind like this, some people think like, okay, well, I'm really far behind. Now my only chance of winning is going to go all in with the crystals, and that gem tile being held by the bamboo will make that easier. So now that he doesn't have much on the board, and after this turn he's gonna have like nothing on the board, that's going to be one of my priorities to take that out. So what I do is I do 2 attacks on his Windblade with my Sword of Windblade, and then I deploy my Shadow, I move it up, and then I steal his Windblade. So it's actually a double whammy for him, because he was expecting to be like, oh, okay, I'll get your Taoist, but I'm actually going to steal his Windblade too. So now it's a Taoist. He's gotten my Taoist, and he's given me a Windblade. So that's pretty awesome for me. And it was just luck that I was able to draw the shadow at that time that opened up that possibility for me. So now he's got to start from scratch all over again. So I've got a really, really huge advantage here. This is how he chooses to do it. He chooses to get his monk on the attack tile, and also the poisoner down there, and try to take advantage of the bamboo. The reason that he wants to take the attack tile with his monk, obviously the monk only has 1 range, so it's not really an offensive threat, but he has to put that monk there because if I take that attack tile with my Windblade, that Windblade is going to do 450 damage per shot, and it's just going to get things totally out of control But the way it is now, with that monk on that tile, it's going to take me a bunch of hits to really do anything about it. It's not going to be efficient. So he's going to be able to prevent me from totally locking down the match. Additionally, with only one Taoist on the board for me, and my second Taoist not available, I really don't want to be advancing too far. Like, I don't have any combo potions, so if I get too far away from my Taoists, I could be giving away my valuable units for not good value. So while it may be tempting to just kind of go for the kill when you're in an advantage like this, sometimes the best way to exploit an advantage is just to be patient and build up an impenetrable defense, and then slowly chip away and force them to make the suicidal moves. Because ultimately, if you can defend your crystals and you have the power of being able to steal their units and they can't steal them back, all you really need to do is be able to hold your ground and then slowly advance instead of trying to advance all at once. So I'm going to be trying to do that, trying to consolidate my position here. Still a little nervous about the crystals because he's still got that gem tile. He's got that poisoner down there. And he could try and go for like an all-out dive. So that's something I need to be wary of. But if I can get that bamboo off of the gem tile, then it's going to be really hard for him to maintain a unit on that tile in the long run because I've just got a lot of firepower on the board. And he doesn't have any more bamboos. He spent them both already. So what I'm going to do is I move my shadow down here. I put a helm on him. I move my windblade back on the attack tile. And then I move the windblade that I stole down and I heal him. And really this is about... it is a few things. One, I want to protect this crystal. I don't want this poisoner to come in and dive on this on the crystal here, and then have like the ability to dragon it later on and take it out, because then I'd be forced to camp around this crystal, which is a lot more assaultable, so to speak, and I can prevent. I can just nip that in the bud from the very start by blocking that line of sight with my shadow. Additionally, it's a good position for the shadow because the shadow is now in range of all these tiles here. So I'm getting like a lot of board position. And if you look at where my windblade is positioned here, he's doing 450 to anybody in this area. And again, in my shadow's range is here. So really, like, if you look at like this area right around my crystals, I've got that lockdown super hard with two really powerful units. And there's always the possibility of when you have two wind blades on the board, you can always use the combo potion trick and do like a 3 combo point combo from a good range. Additionally, I'm thinking about assaulting the bamboo here. So I've got this guy in range, and I've got this guy in range to do a 2 combo point hit on it sometime in the future. So really, I'm defending my crystal. I'm getting the upgrades on my shadow. I'm positioning myself to attack this bamboo tile next turn, and I'm also controlling the middle of the board. So even though I didn't do any direct damage this turn, I still accomplished a whole bunch of things with this move. Let's see how he follows this up. Okay, so he deploys 2 poisoners. So he brings this poisoner up, and brings this poisoner down, and then he swords. So now I'm thinking, oh, he's got a poisoner up here, and this can threaten this crystal, which is pretty exposed. And he's probably thinking, okay, if I can do a bunch of damage to this crystal up top, and then retreat back, there's a possibility that with the combined power of like the dragon and some wind blades, he might be able to go all out and get my final crystal. So I'm really thinking at this point, like, he hasn't deployed any Taoists. He set up all his poisoners pretty aggressively. Like, this is a good response for him. He's also like getting good board control. Like, you can see, like, these are the poisoners' range. So he's also making a play. He's certainly defending his side of the map very well, and you know, he's got these areas locked down here. So I can't advance my shadow carelessly. Or really any of my high value units. Like, I've got to be paying attention to this guy because he still has that dragon left. And so if he runs up and then suicides a poisoner and a dragon to take out that Blister Windblade, like, that's a possibility. So what I'm thinking here is, one, I'm really glad that he sorted the poisoner in the back, because that poisoner is 1, 2, 3 AP away from being able to hit my shadow. And a sorted poisoner is pretty much the only thing that's going to threaten my shadow at all. Like, a sorted poisoner plus a dragon. So I'm very thankful that that poisoner is sorted, as opposed to, you know, like this one. And I think that it might have been better for him to try and sword this one. I suspect that the reason he didn't do that is because he didn't have a Taoist. And what if I like ran over here and then here, so with the Windblade, and then just KO'd this guy? I suspect that's what he was worried about. Like, what if I don't draw the Taoist, basically? But that would be a pretty crazy move for me to try. Because I'd basically be giving it my +3 unit for the chance of KOing a sorted poisoner. At this point, I just don't need to get that crazy. But it's not wrong. It's just he's playing safe, and considering how much of a disadvantage he's at because he doesn't have a shadow, I'm not sure if he can really afford to play safe in this situation. So if I were playing his side, I might try to get a little more aggressive. But it's really a nitpicky thing to try and fault someone for. But just food for thought. Okay. So what I'm paranoid about is the second Taoist for myself. I've already lost one Taoist. Got another Taoist on the board. I need to do a few things. I set up the hit on the bamboo, so I've taken it down about 50% more, and I'm turning 2 cards. I'm putting the helm on the shadow, which will make, put the shield on the shadow, which will give him a little more HP. So now he's all the way buffed up, so that's great. I want to turn 2 cards here, because I want to get that second Taoist out. Until that second Taoist is out, I'm scared to move up too far. I also really want to get the Taoist onto this attack tile instead of this Windblade. If I get the Taoist onto that attack tile, then I'm going to be able to slowly press up, because he's going to have a really, really hard time attacking into me when I can just heal really, really fast. Especially considering the shadow is still alive. So that's really my plan. I'm getting a lot of units up on the board. because the more units we both have, the stronger this shadow becomes. Because he's going to have a really hard time catching me off guard and putting me in a position where I'm like, uh-oh, I have to put my shadow in a dangerous spot to bail myself out. Because remember, if we trade evenly with the shadow, it's going to work out in my favor unless my healing is just totally crippled. So I've got this poisoner down here, and this poisoner is meant to also go there and then lock down this tile even further, because I'm still worried about the crystal kill at this point. I draw a helm and a sword, so no luck on the Taoist for this turn. Okay, so yeah, if you watch the crystal HP here, see it goes down a bunch. So he went here, attack, ×2, back, and then he deployed the monk. So doing more crystal damage, and that kind of it kind of tips his hand a little bit. Like, I'm getting a glimpse into what his plan is. How does he think he can win this game? And the answer is obviously he thinks he's going to be able, or he thinks his only chance is to win by crystal damage, by killing my crystals. And he's probably right. Really, the only path for a TKO for him is to take out my Taoists. And he doesn't really have a good way of doing that right now, because my Taoist is like super on the back lines. So even though like my shadow is in good position and I've got like this +3 Windblade keeping him away, you always need to take crystal threats very seriously, because they can get out of control. Like, if I don't take the threat seriously of like this poisoner going here and then here and then here and then doing 2 shots to this and then spinning a dragon, and then all of a sudden now he can hide behind this crystal with his poisoner and do damage on here. Like, he can get out of control very quickly. So it's something that I've got to take seriously, and my best way to take it seriously is to take care of this gem tile. Shaolin are so dependent on this gem tile to actually kill the crystals, because none of their units do have any sort of special crystal damage effects. And especially with the poisoners, they don't get the benefit of their debuff on the crystals, so they're only doing 200 damage a shot, no matter what, to the crystals, unless they have the gem tile, which is when it's 500. But there's no way that he's going to be able to chip away 60% of my crystal HP, the remaining 60% up here, if he doesn't hold this gem tile. So locking down this square and making sure he can't put a unit on there is like my #1 priority. And that's the exact reason why I put this poisoner down here last turn. Because with his Windblade here, and with his poisoner here, there's no way that he's going to be able to hang on to this tile. And really, I'm going to make an aggressive play here. I bring the poisoner here, and then up again. I bamboo this gem tile to cover myself so that I can threaten this poisoner back, because I get line of sight and he can only attack the bamboo. And now this is what I'm saying. Your crystal threat is over. It's my turn to start going on the offense. Like, I've got a bunch of units out. You don't have any Taoists on the board. I'm gonna start turning the heat up on you. And I'm also turning a card, which is excellent, because I'm still looking for that last Taoist. I want to force this poisoner back, or potentially even just kill it and then, or save it with my shadow. Because if I can start getting like a chain of unit steals, then things can get out of control very, very quickly. And I'd love to get that chain started if he's gonna let me. And if he's not gonna let me, then he's gonna have to retreat. So it's a win-win situation for me. And I get my other bamboo. So I spend a bamboo and I get a bamboo. It's just fine. I mean, bamboo is, in my opinion, a really, really underrated item. So I'm always happy to have one available. Here. So he spends his turn bringing his monk up to protect his poisoner, which he moves back a square. He deploys the Taoist, which he presumably drew in the last turn, and he does a little bit of damage to my bamboo with his poisoner. So I've bought more time here. I can sort of chip away at his monk with my poisoner, which is very, very safe right now. And I might even sword it. I'm not sure what I ended up doing here, but I definitely want to do some damage to this monk. I hope. Well, let's see. So I don't actually remember what I did next turn, but if I were playing this game totally blind at this very moment, I would sword this poisoner, and then I would take down this monk. And the reason I would do that is because a sworded poisoner takes out a monk in 3 AP, but it actually takes 4 AP to heal a monk up to full with the Taoist. So doing that much damage to the monk is actually AP efficient for me versus healing it for him. And it'll keep him on the defensive going forward. Like there's no simple solution for him unless he's able to get his Taoist onto this attack tile. But I just can't see a situation where he gets that Taoist on that attack tile, because this one blade is still very threatening on the middle tile, and any unit that is on this square here is going to be threatened by him. But with only one Taoist on the board, he can't heal any damage to this Taoist. Another benefit of having the Sworded Poisoner is Sworded Poisoners kill other Poisoners in 2 AP. And he's got 3 Poisoners on the board. So that'll put a lot of pressure on him. And it's definitely the unit that I want to spend my last sword on. Is a Poisoner, for sure. Oh yeah, I called it. Alright, so well, it's exactly what I said I would do again. I did. I sworded this Poisoner, I took 3 shots on this monk, and then I deployed a monk up here. I want to get more units on the board. I still don't feel too comfortable advancing until I have my second Taoist, so I'm turning 2 more cards to try and get the Taoist. But I don't. I get a monk and I get a Windblade, but it's okay. If I put enough units on the board, eventually I will get him. And I have the potential to have 4 Windblades on the board, which is kind of hilarious. I got this guy, got this guy, got this guy, and get this guy. So that would be like the most epic push ever. The 4 Windblade push. That's some special tactics. We'll see if I actually pull that off, though. I can't remember exactly what happened. This game finished up early this week, so it's not everything's like totally fresh in my mind. Okay. So yeah, he took a shot on the bamboo with the poisoner. He revived the medic and brought him back. So that's nice, because if he wants to heal that monk, he's gonna have to spend AP sometime in the future. So he's kind of like accumulating HP debt, so to speak. It's kind of a little weird way of saying that, but But yeah. So that's another unit that's taking up space. Interestingly enough, he does not. He has both of his deploy tiles blocked. So this Taoist, if I can do like damage to it, unfortunately he's pretty safe back there. But something to think about is if you have access to killing the only healer on the board and they have both of their deployed tiles blocked, it's very unlikely that they'll be able to both kill your attacking unit and also save their healer. So it's a good way to force trades if you're aware of when they have their deployed tiles blocked. Additionally, if healers are on the deploy tile, then they would not be able to save it unless they deployed it on the other deploy tile and moved it down. So that's another situational quirk that you can take advantage of if they have healers on deploy tiles and you are able to exploit a vulnerability. So this is kind of a tempting situation. It's very tempting for me to just kind of run up here and do a bunch of damage to his back crystal and then come back. Because he killed his back crystal, all I have to do is like control this tile, and eventually this crystal will go away. Because I mean this wall here, like yeah, he doesn't have a shadow, but he's got like 3 poisoners here, and that's still pretty scary. It's gonna be tough for me to attack into that. So I'm kind of thinking about like, I don't know. I really love to finish this off without having to attack into that giant poisoner wall, especially that sorted poisoner. I don't have any dragons to deal with that. I spent them all already. And that guy could be or that girl could be a threat to my Windblade or my Shadow or my sorted poisoner. Let's see how I actually decided to play this. I'm not sure what I did. That was anticlimactic. What was that exactly? Okay. So I got the monk that was here. I moved him here up to the front to guard for my Windblade. Then I deployed another one of my Windblades and moved him up here. And basically, so this isn't an exciting move, but let me explain what I'm thinking here. I don't want to attack into this wall, and I think I tried moving to this square with the poisoner and like doing a bunch of damage, but it didn't really accomplish that much ultimately. Like if I kill this monk and then move back, then his Taoist just goes here and then heals up the monk, and it's just kind of a wash. Ultimately, it ends up being AP inefficient, so that doesn't really accomplish anything. Spending 4 AP to kill this poisoner that takes 3 AP to heal back to full, AP inefficient. So none of my attacking options are AP efficient in the long run. And by AP efficient, I mean he has to spend less AP healing his units back up to full health than I have to spend AP taking them down to 0 health. So in the long run, if I'm not like stomping his units, I never want to be AP inefficient because I'm just giving him free moves where he'll be able to slowly either develop his forces or put upgrades on his guys or strengthen his position or whatever, and I'm just like running back and forth doing stupid stuff. So so that I determined that to not be productive. So what do you do if you don't have any productive moves? You just fortify your position. So I'm getting more units in an offensive position. I'm getting this Windblade here, which is gonna block this crystal, and it's also gonna put threats on his crystal. Because remember, now I've got this gem tile, so And these crystals are super, super exposed. Like, he's so scared of my poisoner and my shadow that he's hiding behind these crystals, but he's not able to, like, take these 2 squares, which are really the important ones. And with that defense being the way it is, like, the crystal kill is starting to look really appealing to me. Or at least forcing the threat of a crystal kill. Because if I force the threat, then he'll have to start putting units in this square, and then I can kill them. But if he's hiding behind the crystal, then it's going to be really hard to kill anything. And what do I get? Okay, well, I didn't show you what I drew there. But anyway, so what he's going to do is he's going to drag in my face down. How did that happen? Okay, I see what happened. Okay, so he's going to make his move here. And what he's going to do is he's going to drag in here. And that Windblade was never healed up to full. So the Windblade dies. This Poisoner takes 450, so he's got 200. So she's got 200 life left. And what he's going to do is he's going to move the Monk from here. Then here, which stops the Windblade. He's going to attack my Poisoner and KO it, and then he's going to stop. So that's a pretty nifty move. He's going to end up... He's going to sacrifice this Monk, basically. Like, this Monk is in no man's land. But he's going to get my Sworded Poisoner, and he gets his Windblade back, which I stole originally. And he takes that off the board. And that's, to me, mixed feelings. Again, I'm happy that his dragon is gone, because now it's going to be extraordinarily difficult for him to kill my shadow ever. My shadow is basically guaranteed to live now, unless I just make a terrible mistake. He did take out my Sworded Poisoner. I only will have this +3 Windblade now. That has a sword, so I'll have to take care of him. But yeah, it's a good move. I'm also happy that he didn't take out a Taoist. That was once I took care of this gem tile here, and got it bambooed. I was very paranoid about losing my Taoists. And potentially, like, having him, like, dive a Monk in and, like, dragging it down and then leave me with 1 Taoist left, and something happens that way that turns into a TKO. Like, that's something I was very worried about. But now that he spent his dragon taking out my Poisoner, it's unlikely that he's going to be able to take out my Taoists now. Assuming that I draw it pretty soon. I drew a combo potion, by the way. With my card turn. Now, so that's how I feel about spending the dragon in that situation. Now the question is, how do I respond? Because this juicy attack tile is now unoccupied. And there are a bunch of juicy units around this attack tile that I would love to get some damage on. And the question is it time to dive in? Now, remember, the Windblades, both of these guys do splash damage, and this Taoist could potentially receive some splash damage by a Windblade on this tile here, and both of these deploy tiles are blocked. Now, I'm not going to be able to kill him this turn, but I might be able to damage him now, and then have some sort of follow-up that KOs him, KOs the Taoist. And if I can get him down to 1 Taoist, like, it's checkmate. Like, there's no way that he's going to ever be able to venture out of the corner. Like, as soon as he ventures out, I just do a bunch of damage, and he either retreats back and has to heal up in his own corner again, or I steal his units with my shadow. Like, getting a Taoist kill at this point is 100% game ending. So that's what I'm thinking about. Let's see what I actually do here. Okay. So I send this the Windblade that was here, and I move him here, and I hit the Poisoner 3 times. And the nice thing is that the splash damage actually hits all of these guys. And if he wants to, if he wants to stomp, well, so he's got this dilemma here. Like, he's got to save this Poisoner here, the Sworded Poisoner, because that's like a really high value unit. He's got to worry about this Taoist. He's got to kill this Windblade, and he's got to put something on this tile, because otherwise I'm gonna have this Windblade come in and do the same thing, and it's just going to spiral out of control. So let's see how he responds to this. Okay, so he heals this Poisoner. He does a 2-attack combo onto the Windblade. He stomps it with this Poisoner, and then he combo potions this Poisoner. So that's a good response. But he does spend his last combo potion, which means that if I'm able to take out a Taoist, then there's no way he can actually heal up any of his units. Additionally, this Poisoner is like super exposed. So I forced out the combo potion in exchange for a Windblade, and I got a bunch of damage out, and I've forced him to expose his Poisoner. Not amazing result for me, and this monk is still chilling down here saying, "Oh, I was expecting to die, but I'm not dead." So that's a little confusing, but I need to follow this up because I'm really trying to get this Taoist. Even though I was attacking this Poisoner, this is my real objective here. And so now I'm trading. I want to trade unit for unit as best I can. So if I'm trading 1 for 1, then ultimately the less units there are on the board, the more powerful my shadow becomes. So if we're trading more or less even, then it's better for me. Now, obviously, this monk's going to get reamed, but if I can force him to spend this combo potion, then that's one less piece of offense that can blow me up. And whatever he stomps this monk with has to face the wrath of this Windblade. Additionally, I've finally gotten my Taoist onto that attack tile, and now my position is rock solid. I will be able to heal really anything inside, this area here, with very high amounts of healing. So positionally, I've lost like 3 units in the last 2 turns or so. He's only lost 1, but position wise, I'm getting a lot done here. So this is how he responds. So I think he 2-shots the monk with the 2 poisoners using the combo potion, which is nice. So yeah, that monk's dead, but excuse me. The combo shit's gone. He also moves his Taoist up here. And that seems like a weird move at first, but the reason he does that is because what I was threatening to do was come here with my Windblade, attack this crystal, and then the splash damage would either, I don't know exactly how it would work out, but it would definitely hit the Void Monk on this square here. Or not the Void Monk, what am I talking about? Just the Taoist. It would hit the Taoist on that square here, so in order to keep this guy safe, he's got to move him up so that he's not going to take any splash damage. It also makes me think that he doesn't have the last Taoist in his hand right now. And I wish I knew what his hand was at this particular point in time, like what was left in it. Because he's got I think he's got like another sword, and he's got a bunch of defensive upgrades. He's definitely got another sword. But it's possible that he doesn't have his Taoist. Or if he does, he's worried about his deploy tiles are currently blocked by his own units right now. But that's okay, because I'm gonna go bonkers. Like I said, my belief was that if I can kill this last Taoist here, or not this last Taoist, if I can bring him down to one Taoist, then I'm going to win. Because he's used his last combo potion. I've got my Shadow on the board. There's just no way he can mount any kind of offense with only one Taoist. So it's actually worth giving up my last high value unit as long as I can get both of these guys. And really, the problem is that because both of these deploy tiles are blocked, if he wants to save these units, he's got to move this Windblade off. He's got to deploy the Taoist. He's got to heal the Taoist. And then he's got to take 2 hits on my Windblade. And I don't think that actually a 2-hit combo kills the Windblade with the 2 defensive upgrades. I think he needs 3 AP to kill the Windblade. So that's actually just impossible. He can't save either of these units mathematically, and so he's forced to take the trade. And he'll obviously get my Windblade because he's got the Poisoner down here, he's got the Windblade here, and that combo will take him down easily. But I'm getting Assorted Poisoner for my trouble, and I'm also crippling his offensive capabilities because he's only have 1 Taoist left and no combo potions and no Shadow. Boop. So that's what he does. He does 3 hits on the on my Windblade. He stomps it with his, and then he helms him. So that was basically a forced move. He didn't have a choice other than to take that trade. But I got what I wanted. So now my biggest concern is I've got 2 units on the board, and I can't afford to give up this Taoist. I don't want anything stupid. So my real concern is, crap, I need to get more units on the board. As long as I don't have to retreat from this position, I'm totally fine. But I need units on the board. And that's exactly what I put on here. So I moved the Monk here and the Windblade here. And he's not going to be able to attack into this and get my Taoist because he's out of dragons. There's no way he can even KO the Taoist. Yeah, I just want to consolidate. And I draw a Poisoner and my other common potion. So naturally, my Taoist, which I was trying to draw this entire time, ends up being the last card in my deck. But yeah, I've kind of accounted for that possibility the whole time, so it's not too bad. All right, with this, I'm going to take a 2-minute break to get some water real fast and kind of rest my voice. And in 2 minutes, I'll be back with the rest of this game.